Good morning. Today is a very, very special episode of Rebel Daily. I'm Catherine Krasnowski here in studio, and with us is the birthday girl, Alexa Lavoie. Bonne fête, Alexa. Is that how you say it? Bonne fête?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I could speak French to you, but I can't.
No, it's okay. You just say bonne fête in French, and it's actually really cute. Thank you. Oh,
Yay! That's for you. It's a cricket cupcake.
Oh no, I refuse.
Fine. I won't tell people that you'll eat bugs on live TV today.
No.
Not today, guys.
Not today. But
that's your gift from me.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Catherine.
welcome. You're so welcome.
I wish I can be close to you so we can do a party.
Yes, a party. A party would be
Yeah.
nice. Well, we'll have to wait for Christmas.
It's a bit in a long time.
Yeah, I know. I think that's the last time I saw you. It was Christmas. And then I got COVID.
I think it was from Christmas, I think.
So.
Mm.
So, for people who are new, this is the Rebel Daily live stream that happens every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. Alexa, Nat, and I usually do Fridays, but Natasha's not feeling well today, so Alexa and I are... Yeah. She's under the weather, but she will return with gusto. But we are live on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Getter. And at a certain point in the show, we might have to fly off of YouTube if Alexa and I get too spicy, which is almost guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be talking about COVID and, YouTube doesn't like some of the things we have to say about that. But that's fine. That's their prerogative. We'll just go to our other fantastic channels. So should we dive in?
I would just say, everybody, please, if you want to wish me happy birthday, or if you want us to read your comment, your question, please feel free. Go to Super Chat. I think it's mostly just follow what YouTube say to you, or on Rumble as well. You can donate in the same time that you can read your question on the screen, and we will answer to all your questions. So if you want to send it in French or in English, feel free. It would be a pleasure to read you.
Yes, I always forget that part. Send your chats in, because we love to chat, and then it helps us have more to talk about. These are that we talk about the news, and that's kind of what the Rebel News Daily live stream is about. We react to the news, but if you have news that we haven't heard of, post it in there, and we'll discuss that too. Unless it's offensive to someone.
Or if you just want to send us some love.
Yeah, and especially Alexa good. For her birthday, for her 19th birthday. Looking amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Alrighty, so our first thing on the list is the JCCF dinner that was attended by Tamara Litch and Rebels in Calgary, which included, because Ezra flew out there this week, so Ezra Levant was there. We had Sheila Gunn Reid, we had Celine and Adam Sos and Kian and Mocha. So there's a photo from the event that took place last year. Look at how dapper everybody looks. My goodness.
Know.
I wish I could have gone. I know. I've actually never been to Calgary, so...
Me too.
Really? Well, we'll go one day. We'll bring our cowboy boots.
Together.
Yes, together. We'll go on a journey. But is this a video? I think this is a video of Tamara.
Yeah.
And
I think it's Sheila and Tamara.
Yeah.
When they give a nice
Oh, that's nice. Oh, they're crying. Oh dear. Sheila looks amazing.
Can you believe, she spent how many days? 40-something days in jail?
It's unbelievable. Look at her. She's an absolute terror.
She's a strong woman, and she's actually the best freedom fighter in Canada.
Yeah.
She did nothing wrong, and she spent, I think it was 46 days
I'm not
in
exactly
jail.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it's about that.
We should fact check ourselves. But yeah, the video... and photos of her in Ottawa in February being handcuffed. She knew it was coming, and I watched it, and all of us probably watched it live, and it was just so heart-wrenching because she knew it was coming, and she was so peaceful, but just you could see in her eyes how broken she was just by beaten down by the system. She was like, "Are you seriously doing this to me?" So sad. And they kept trying to make an example out of her. And they wouldn't give her bail, and then finally they did, and it's been a drama.
And she took a picture with like one, I think it was Tom Marazzo or someone from the Convoy. And after that, like she had another trial because
she wasn't supposed to be seen with them or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really pathetic stuff from the government. But what's new? What's new?
Nothing new there.
So it's really nice to see. Yeah.
Like, when you like, I don't know, like some criminal will have like treat better than that.
Yep. Well, if David Menzies were here, he would bring up Omar Khadr, who's a terrorist who I wish David was here because he knows more of the details, but I think he was like,
yes,
he was treated better than Tamara Lich was for being a freedom fighter. And when we say fighter, we're not talking physically. We're not talking like actual physical fighting. It's like a metaphor for the movement. We use our words. We get out there with flags and like Alexa, you were there in Ottawa and love. Exactly. Like you were in Ottawa the entire time. I went for one weekend and I have never seen so much love in my life. It was like being at a family reunion. It's like everyone who's here is your friend. I saw someone slip on the snow and like 5 people went and like picked them up and they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? They're like, I'm fine. It's like, it wasn't like Matt, like it was beautiful. And I saw, I'm sure you saw this too, but there were all those city buses that the city had like taken off the street to use for like medical triage. So they were like posted all in the downtown core, and they're full of paramedics, literally empty from people. Like paramedics just sitting there like sad, waiting for someone to get hurt. It's like, sorry, people aren't getting hurt here. This is not a physical fight that we're fighting. This, I mean, you got hurt, but that wasn't because protesters did that to you now, was it?
No. And like, I never saw Ottawa as clean as that. I remember when they pushed, like, they dismantled at the end, like on the 18, 19 February, the couple of days after, like, Ottawa, like, after, like, I'm talking about a week after. After that, the police remove everything from the street, and they put, like, everything as a trash, a little bit everywhere. I never saw, like, Ottawa as dirty as that. My entire time that I was there, people were shoveling snow. They were cleaning the street, putting some salt, like to make sure that nobody was hurting themselves. And everybody, every night, they were removing everything from the street, making sure that everything was perfectly clean. And I cannot believe that they say that, oh yeah, people were like making my city dirty. I heard that from so many counter protesters that came during the protest, and I was like, I'm not sure if you put your glasses, because actually this place is so clean.
I saw protesters put, like, you know, the city garbage cans, they were emptying them out, tying the garbage, putting a new bag in, because obviously after a week they were overflowing, and they were like, we don't want piles of garbage. So they were taking it, and I'm sure they were putting it somewhere and then taking it off to the dump. It was like, this is so, like, the most quintessential Canadian thing I've ever seen in my life, where we're like, we're rebels and we're ruffians with hockey sticks, but we're also like the most polite, kind people you'll ever meet. So it was really lovely. But
I miss that time. I would say, like, I'm ready for another one.
Maybe in the summer this time.
Oh my God, it was so cold. For everybody who were not there, it was so freezing. I was running in and out for putting my feet into the hot water. And I was crying because I was like, this is so cold. This is so cold that I cannot endure that more.
Like, you know, when it's so cold that, you know, those like heat packs that you have, like, if your feet are, I learned this at the Convoy, but if your feet are already cold, when you put those packs in, it does nothing. It's literally, you have to put them in before. I learned that. So before you go into the cold, you put the heat packs in, but those only last for like 8 hours. You were out there for a month.
And I learned something else to every viewer who are watching us. This small pack, when you climb a mountain and you arrive at the top, you have no enough oxygen. it doesn't don't work.
It's like this big and your entire body's frozen. I remember like taking my gloves off just to film something, and I'm like, I can't post it. Like I couldn't grasp my phone. I was like, hey, like oh. It was. I mean, I can't. I was again. I was there for 2 days. You were there for a month. So my God, you're a tough cookie. But
no, it's okay. Like I actually passed through so many worse. Like when I say I climbed the Annapurna, and it was like 14 days in the snow, really in the cold. I would say this was probably my hardest time.
worse than malaria.
Or I would say, oh, malaria was way worse.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
She's fine.
Strong.
Look at her. She's strong, you guys. There should be like an escape room, but it's just like living Alexa's life. It's like, oh no, now the RCMP's after you. Oh no, now you have malaria.
Yeah.
that would be a fun experience, VR. Live as Alexa. You will cry after 2 hours. And you won't look nearly as good. But on the topic of the convoy, there was a new release, new documents revealed. I think it was yesterday or Wednesday. So the title here is Trudeau's government was told a potential for breakthrough with protesters a day before it used Emergencies Act. So this article...
Are you surprised?
No, but maybe you can help me understand, Alexa. I don't understand what they mean by potential for a breakthrough. Are they talking about like a breakthrough in like a negotiation? So they were like things are cooling down? Okay.
Probably because I don't see the point, because nothing, like I remember before he invoked the Emergency Act, everything was so peaceful and everybody was, I know that so many people were doing like press conference trying to reach the government, to try to have like a moment to talk with. And I know that the mayor was supposed to, and I think they did do a meeting together, and finally didn't result on what they wanted, like as a result. And probably like they were supposed, the government, to do something and go and talk to, but every time that they had like a press conference, I was asking like, do you have like some negotiation that's coming up with the government? And they were always saying that we don't have any return of call of email. So I was like, maybe that's mean that maybe it was supposed to have like a meeting through, but
yeah. Like we said, like these people were really peaceful and they were interested in resolution. They didn't. No one wants to stand outside in February in negative 30 degrees like for a month. No one wants to do that, but they did it because they had to. They felt like they had to. So I can understand that they would be very willing to have negotiations with the government on these mandates that were destroying their livelihoods. But it seems like the government, knowing that, so I guess that's the point of this article, is like knowing that the protesters were interested in negotiation, they're like, bah, like we're not, let's just crush them. And like to your point that you just mentioned, everything was like the video that we showed a couple seconds ago of people singing and dancing and having fun, like in that photo right there. That was before the Emergencies Act. And then all the footage that you see of people getting crushed by horses, Alexa getting shot, all those nameless, faceless police officers with their badge numbers covered, like that was after the Emergencies Act. So it's like everyone who followed this knows that the violence started after the government put their strong foot down, their big ass foot. And it's
I will never forget like the 18 when the police break through and they use the horses. I'm not kidding. Seeing this big animal getting into the crowd, and I was like, oh my God, someone would die. Someone would die. Yeah. And I just saw like, and the horses was just like jumping in the crowd. I was like, what they all doing?
I know.
Like they are peaceful people like that. What I was actually panicking. I was like, and the day after when I saw the horses back, I was like, they were not doing that again. Like this is actually the worst thing that I never saw in my life. Using animal.
Yeah.
First of all, the animal doesn't know what he's doing.
I know.
Okay?
I felt bad for the horses too. Like on top of everything, this is like super cruel to the horses. They look like, if you see those videos and they're wearing shields, but like the horse looks pretty panicked. And when you put a large animal, horses are very panicky animals to begin with. So you put, like, I know that they're trained for this kind of thing, but still, like, that was more than I think they were prepared for. And like you're talking about, they don't know what they're doing. They're not like, oh yeah, like down with the protesters. So it's like,
no.
Then you use those giant animals to crush innocent protesters to push back the stupid line. Like if you had just negotiated on these mandates that are now dropped, like it's like unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Drop.
Yeah. I mean, I expect to see lots of mandates come back in the fall.
Oh yeah,
they're already.
Have you seen like Mr. Legault to have like ordered 30 million of masks for the school, when he said that it will not mandatory but will order 30 million of masks just for make sure that if it's beginning to be mandatory, all the school establishment will be in line with the health measure requirement. I was like, okay, so you would just wait to be like vote back again, and after that you would just do, okay, we put all the restriction back. I'm sure it would be this. We know Mr. Legault. Every time he said something that it will not doing it, he was doing it afterwards. It's like example for with the curfew. We will never use a curfew on. It's a war measure. We will not use that. And they put it 2 times.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like what politicians do. That's just what they say. We'll never, like Che Guevara and Castro were like, oh, we're having a revolution in Cuba. It's not communism. Don't worry, we will never do that. Like, and then like a year later, they're like shooting children in the street. So
that's just sad. Oh yeah,
classic. I mean, obviously it's not that extensive, but to that extreme. But that's what politicians do. They say, "Oh, don't worry about this. We'll never ever do that." And then they're like, "We had to. You don't understand. We had to do it like that." So,
and if you want to order your shirt of Justin Castro, because we don't know if it's another like conspiracy thing, but he looked like really similar.
They look really similar. I know that there's one person at Rebel here who's like, I don't see it, and I'm like, wow, that's a pretty crazy theory that you have, that they're not related. Like that's pretty out there.
I think like almost. Oh my god, I love that one. I didn't see it.
Is
like
that Stalin?
A pair of panty and like a mask. I like that.
That's hilarious.
It's almost the same, you know.
Don't stop a fart. Does that say fart? I can't stop a fart.
Cannot stop a fart. Stop
COVID.
COVID.
Oh, geez.
That's true, because a lot of like masks, some of them like when you were buying one from tissue, like people were making it. Yeah. Was from like
T-shirts,
underwear, or T-shirt.
Yeah, it's just like a thin layer of cotton, but it's like, oh, they're wearing a mask, so they're cool. It's like, okay,
but if you cannot like stop a fart, how you can like stop COVID? Huh? I'm sorry.
That's science. That's some good science right there.
YouTube doesn't like you at the moment.
YouTube doesn't like the word fart. Sorry, YouTube.
Oh, sorry, YouTube.
Sorry. What about toot? We have a video to play, unless we're going to do chats. But I think we have this video from U.S. pollster warning Canadians don't head in our direction. I haven't watched this yet, so let's watch it together.
Okay.
And do you anticipate, for example, if there are eventually charges pursued against the former president, or something very consequential manifests or results from this raid, that will only amplify that issue, that problem?
Yes, it's because you have to trust the institutions, and you have to trust the people who manage them. And when that trust is broken, it's very hard to restore it. And when that trust is shattered, it's impossible. I think of the nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty. all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. It's weird that I would use a nursery rhyme, but it's true in American democracy. And I believe, as Richard Haas, the leader of the CFR, Council of Foreign Relations, I believe what he has said, this is the single greatest threat to America right now. It is not China, it is not Russia, Ukraine, it's not Iran. It is the disintegration of trust and confidence in American government, in American institutions, and in the people who run it. And this is just making matters worse. Canada has a greater degree of...
Yeah, well, I totally agree with what he's saying there. It seems like something from a country that does not have their SHIT together, like to have an ex-president's home raided by the FBI. They're basically trying to put him in prison. And it's like, there are people right now whose names are on a list of Epstein clients who have abused and bought and sold young girls that they're too powerful to take down. They're too big. It would be just so damaging for the infrastructure and the zeitgeist of the American political landscape to take those people down. But Trump, you can go and raid his house over. I mean, again, I don't know what. The issue is, was he given these documents? People are saying in defense of Trump, he was given the documents that he allegedly stole, or did he steal them? It's a big difference. So I don't know, but it is either way.
I don't think he stole it, because when he bring it back home, I think as a lot of people say, just maybe borrow and forget that he had it, or it was really open to give it to them, but in the same time, he actually asked, I think he tweeted that yesterday, he said, you know what, I just want that they release all the documents that he take from my resident. I'm open to show what it was on the document, but I want that the FBI release all the document that they took from my resident. And I think it's fair enough. If you took some document or some private property, you should be allowed to show, getting transparent. Trump, it's what he wanted. Be transparent. Mm-hmm. And it always what he was claiming. We don't ask anything than transparency from the government. Yeah. They work from the citizen. You should be transparent on every step that you are doing for the citizen. Because not only you work for us, but you are doing all the regulation and everything that you impose in us without any transparency, any proof of why you're doing that. So all people can actually have confident on you if you're hiding every step that you're doing.
Yeah.
Especially with Trump, now they attack Trump so hard because we know that they don't want him to win the next election.
Yeah.
Because of course he will run again. Mm-hmm. He's not doing all this speech all around USA for doing oh no, I'm not running again.
Yeah. I personally wish he would just get behind DeSantis. I feel like he could be so much more powerful if he didn't run personally and he used his marketing power. The MAGA marketing thing was so powerful. It was the cherry on top, and DeSantis doesn't have that kind of sway yet. And I think if Trump put his power behind DeSantis, that would go a long way. But Trump I like the guy a lot, but he has a little bit of an ego. So he's no, I want to be the guy. Maybe a big bit of an ego, but it's you could, maybe if he wasn't going to run, maybe all this wouldn't happen because they wouldn't be so scared of him.
It's also to prove that, because we cannot say in YouTube for the election, but he actually think that his position was taken from him, because he think that I was the winner. Yeah, and I want to prove that I am the winner.
Yeah. Well, I heard someone say this, or maybe I thought of it. I don't know. I don't think I thought of it myself. I think I heard it on a podcast. But it's regardless of if there was cheating, you still lost because you lost. Like, even if like, I'm not saying that they did. Say in some alternate universe, some parallel universe, there's an election and it was rigged. The loser of that rigged election is still the loser if you can't prove it was rigged. So you're still the loser. Like, it's unfortunate, but even in a potentially alternate universe rigged election, you lost. If you can't prove you don't have the receipts, it's like, well, better luck next time. It's unfortunate if that could happen in an alternate universe, but it is what it is. So, like, I don't know.
But I would say that in the alternate universe, other country that happened before.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Potentially. In some faraway place.
Yeah, exactly. But like
other
country, like underdeveloped, corrupt country, like we know that it's something that.
Well, it's almost.
I would not be surprised.
No, and it's also the same kinds of alternate universe countries where ex-presidents get raided by the government. Like, it's kind of the same. It's like where elections get rigged, also presidents go to prison for stuff. It's like, I don't know. Anyways, let's go to a break. Let's go to an ad break before we get canceled.
Hey folks, check out the newest arrival to the Rebel News store. Yes, F is for Fidel and F is for father. I mean, could it be? Yes, half this photo, the colored half, is Justin Trudeau. The black and white half is a young Fidel Castro. Wait now, or is it vice versa? It's so confusing. I'm a huge Forensic Files fan. Wouldn't it be great if we could have a piece of Justin's DNA and a piece of Fidel's DNA and put the rumor to bed once and for all? But in the meantime, we'll just have to walk around wearing this shirt, hinting at a great Canadian conspiracy. Or is it? In any event, if you want to get this shirt, folks, go to the Rebel News store and check this out. Type in our new discount code, that's SUMMER, SUMMER, and if you buy 2 unisex t-shirts, you get an additional one for free. What a deal. Like I said, Justin Trudeau, Fidel Castro, as they used to say on the ABC detergent ads, can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference.
Oh, David.
I love him.
He lives in our heart. That's great.
We touched my more like my favorite topic, like digital identity, everybody.
Yes, digital identity. I think we should do a couple chats because I see one here that might be of interest to you particularly. Ooh. Let's put up that first one. You read it, Alexa.
Adam Ottawa, thank you. $5 one fight, my belle Alexandra. Thank you.
That's so nice.
That is so nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good chat.
Adam Ottawa is always here, and I want to thank him because he never missed almost like one live stream. He's there all the time, and thank you for your fidelity.
Yes, thank you, and your support.
Yes.
Here's another one. I'll read it. King7734, $1. Thank you very much. Is it transphobic when a person in the rainbow community's car breaks down and they're complaining about their transmission of their transportation? Yes.
A lot of people like do some joke like that.
Anything can be transphobic. That's the beauty of transphobia.
I think so.
Of course it is. I'll take this one. Trini Canadian, $2. Thank you very much. Alexa, your recent report was eye-opening. Reminds me what Glenn Beck said in his book. He says, pull your money from these banks and put it in local non-big chain banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So for everybody who didn't see my last report is on Rebel News Canada. Please go and subscribe to our channel because as you know, we have different channel now, and everything that is related to Canada will be on Rebel News Canada, and we have like all different other channel. But I was talking about the banks that want to control your spending, since they have like just example, Sweden have released a new credit card that's called the Economy, and it's a credit card that have a carbon footprint limit, so that record every carbon footprint on every item purchase. And when your carbon footprint is reached, your credit card get blocked. And
Sign me up.
And it's something that their partnership is growing and is in partnership with the WEF. You will not be surprised of that. But we saw a lot of investors that are taking that credit card. And it's not only that, like now almost all the bank in Canada are involved as well with the task force on climate change disclosure. And so now they want to take some step for the climate change. So now, unfortunately, they will interfere in your spending, telling you where you should spend your money and where you should not spend it. And for the big company who wants to have loan from the bank, they will need to prove that they are doing step as well for greener economy. And so they will have the chance to have a loan. But for other companies who are not considered green, I don't think they will have like the opportunity to have like money from the bank. But it's to come. Like, it's why I'm just thinking, like, when we let the bank deciding for us what we should do. A bank should be a place where we put our finance in a secure place and where we are sure that everything is going on with our finance. Not the opposite. We should not be tell like, oh no, you don't spend there because it's not green. No.
Yeah. Well, it's the slippery slope to what's happening in China, where if like it's everyone's fear, right? If you have the wrong political opinion or you're not green enough, you can be denied access to your own money. And it's not a shock, because we saw this again, to go back to the Convoy, but we saw this. if you donated money to the Convoy, you had, like, some people had their banks frozen. That is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. And it's the small step in this chain to destruction. And of course we have someone like Trudeau sitting back and being like, oh, it's wonderful, because he's in the part of the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, but the problem is like, since the pandemic, all the money, physical money, have disappeared almost, and now it's all card. So all you can control more and more the money is when it's all not physical. It's like virtual. So it's why my problem in this is like, we should more say, no, bring back the physical money. Bring back all that, because it's not trackable.
Yeah.
Like the money that you have, like the physical money, same if you spend it. You have your receipt, fine, but they cannot know where you spend your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I know we need to, I tell myself this every time I want to give someone a cash tip. Like, if someone does service for you and you, like the other day I had a TaskRabbit making some IKEA furniture for me. And I was like, I want to tip you, but if I do it through TaskRabbit, are they taking a cut? Like, is TaskRabbit and yeah, so not only do they know, like, they already know because I ordered it through the app, but it's like, I want to hand you money, but I don't have any money to hand you. It was awful. Like, so we had to tip through TaskRabbit, but it's like, I don't know how much this poor guy who just assembled all my furniture is actually getting. Is he getting all of the tip, or is it going to, like, the services? Like, I hope it's going all to him, but it's like, we need cash. And I told myself that, and it's been days and I still don't have any cash. So I need to work on that. But it's like, and for homeless people, I like to give homeless people cash when I see them. And it's like, I don't have any money for you because I don't walk around with cash. It's awful. It's so stupid. It's hurting people. It's hurting the lowest income people who rely on cash tips and generosity and charity. It's hurting them the most. So anyways, let's talk about your favorite subject, the digital identity program.
So Trudeau government to introduce national digital identity program. Are you really surprised? We knew that was coming up, especially with the non-digital traveler identity that is actually similar at ArriveCan. So we know that was coming up, and we know that digital identity, it's something like normal in Norway. To live your life, you need to have your digital identity. So what they say a report published last week on revamping the government of Canada digital infrastructure state that the next step to making services more convenient is to introduce a federal digital identity program.
Haven't we
Of
seen
course.
this at the airports? It's so much more convenient, and there's so few delays at the airport because of ArriveCan. Unless you're an elderly person who doesn't use a smartphone, unless the app is down because it's like you've talked about before, it was built for like a small amount of people and so many more people are using it, so they don't have the like infrastructure to support it, or the app just bugs out. Like I know my dad was telling me about someone he knows who is vaxxed, who traveled back to Canada, had their ArriveCan app, did everything right, and took his test, negative for COVID. The app was like, oh, you need to quarantine for 14 days. He's like, why? But it's like, it could have just been a glitch. But it's like, that's now on his public, like on his record. So he now has to quarantine for 14 days, even though he literally has no reason to at all. But if that's on the record, try to explain that to someone when they come and knock on your door and you're not home. Like it's just crazy.
And,
gonna be the same thing.
As I say, you remember that Trudeau say that the pandemic it's a good opportunity for a reset. But in the article, what they say is like the COVID-19 pandemic highlight the need for government services to be accessible and flexible in the digital age. The next step is making services more convenient to access is a federal digital identity program integrated with pre-existing provincial platform. Digital identity is the electronic equivalent of a recognized proof of identity document, for example, driver license or passport, and confirm that you are who you say you are in a digital context. I'm sorry, if I show you my government proof, like my passport and my card, I'm sorry, it's probably who I am.
Yeah, like we've used the system for decades. All of a sudden, it's not good enough. Why? Why is that? And it's not like it's easy to forge a driver's license. It's like made of a certain plastic. It has all those like holograms on it. Like, and for some people you can hack an app. Like these things are new and they're all experimental. So like we know that I think it was in Nova Scotia or somewhere in Canada, one of their apps was hacked and people's like COVID vaccination information was like leaked and they're like, oh, it's so sorry that happened. But it's like, so why is that better than Alexa's passport that says she's Alexa? Why is that all of a sudden completely like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Like it's not.
You know what they would do afterwards? They would say, oh, but if you are different gender, if you don't like identify you like as non-binary or binary, or they would say like stuff like that. I'm sorry. This is first of all not a good reason, and secondly, if I born as a woman, and my passport, then the Canada say that I'm a woman on my passport, I should say to all documents what the government give it to me as a person.
Yeah. Like
not because I think that I'm non-binary, that I need to change by myself who I am.
Yeah. We've talked about, I think you and Nat and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, where it's like an identity shouldn't just be able to be changed. Like your identification shouldn't be able to be just changed on a whim. Like, oh, today I'm non-binary, so like I'm gonna go to the through the airport and say like, oh, I'm a man now. It's like, how am I supposed to be able to identify you in a critical situation where your identity is important? Like it's dangerous, and it's dangerous for women because everything.
And you know what? The fine should be going to people who change their own identity because they feel for it, not the normal and good citizen who come back to Canada and were not able to fill the ArriveCan.
Yep.
Like the fine would be mostly going to people who decide that they can change like who they are or like their identity just because they feel for. But this is my point of view.
Yeah. And it's a good one. So our favorite guy, Klaus Schwab, guy in the whole world, he proposes to automate censorship of hate speech and disinformation with AI fed by subject matter experts. Oh, who are are these experts, pray tell? Will they be a diverse group of critically thinking, intelligent people?
You think that they don't really use it already?
Yeah, like I'm sure Justin Trudeau, our commander-in-chief, hates this idea. Like I'm so sick of the word disinformation. It's completely lost all meaning for me. It's like racist, transphobic. Like I don't know what it is anymore, because you just say according to Justin Trudeau, everything said on this network is disinformation. Everything.
Remember the leader debate?
Yeah.
How he crushed, I think it was Tamara.
It was Tamara, yeah. We're not even a news organization. We're just a group of individuals. Like, we're just hanging out. We don't get paid to tell the news or to dissect it or to comment on it. We're just hanging out, and we're anti-science.
And it's us. We create the polarization of the population.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing that. Yeah. We are causing all of the dissent in the whole world, and everyone would just get along if it wasn't for this group of individuals right here. So the word disinformation has lost all meaning to me. I'm sorry, but Klaus Schwab.
I think Trudeau is pretty good for, like, projection of his own problem here. Like saying, oh, it's all my fault, but I would project that on them. Like, you know, it's way more easier.
Yes. It's like sort of what he does. This is absolutely terrifying, but not surprising in any way. Hate speech, it's whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever Klaus wants it to be.
Oh, yeah. But Klaus,
it's
so important now. Like, you know, he owns everything, and he's everywhere. Yeah. I don't know, like artificial intelligence, it's actually in partnership with the non-digital travel identity. It's actually called Accenture company, and the Accenture company, it's artificial intelligence, and they are in partnership with Canada, and they are in partnership with the web too. So I'm not really surprised that we see the artificial intelligence like coming in all this. And like, who will own this artificial intelligence, and how they will program that for the disinformation and misinformation? Is it like where you question everything and all the question from the government? Oh, we need to stop that.
Yeah, basically, I forget which government it was. It might have, I forget. It's the Norway, one of those places. It's a place where the prime minister is like this young chick, and she basically said, any news that you hear, if you don't hear it from the government, it's false.
That's New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, that's the lady.
Yeah, it's Jacinda.
Jacinda or Jacinda, So anything you don't hear from the government is false, and don't you dare question it. Like, that is, like, go back in history at any point and say the same thing. It's like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And anyone who follows along with that is a mindless sheep. The government in Germany were telling people that Jews were spreading disease and that they should be eradicated. But if you question that, you're a bad person. Like, it's like, like you have to question things. That's literally what it is. And when people, the thing that gets me the most is trust the science. Like, we've heard that saying so many times. Trust the science. Science, you know, right? You studied biology, right? Like, science is the act of not trusting. It's about questioning and
questioning all the time.
Constantly. See, this is what we know. Well, how do we know we know it? What if it's this? Oh, wow, now we know it's that. We used to think the world was flat. Like, this is you have to question science. You have to question the government. You have to question your own self all the time. If you don't question things, you're an idiot.
That more you question and more you learn, because when you question, that bring you to maybe it's not the good process, and I would try something else, and that bring you to something new.
Yes, we should play this ad because we are running out of time because we keep chatting away. Let's play this ad.
Adam Sos here for Rebel News. You know, our company is growing quickly, and we'd actually like for your company to grow too. That's why this ad space that I'm speaking through right now is actually available for you to purchase. So instead of people listening to me, they could actually be learning about your company, learning about your business. If this interests you, if this is an opportunity you'd like to capitalize on, send us an email at ads@rebelnews.com.
But you know what? I'm capable like to extend for a little bit if people like our like live stream. I don't care to like over expand after 1 hour. But anyway, we have a nice video of TikTok about feminism
Hold on,
and reality.
there's something
Oh,
before that. Our producer just ran in here. Something just happened now, so we need to watch this because it's hilarious.
oh, okay, great.
Then we'll get to the feminism one.
Forward, but not coming from the government per se, but the premier. It's coming from the health sector. Holy Christ! I just swallowed a bee. Oh Christ! I knew that little bugger. Oh.
It's your next meal.
I'm good. He's down here buzzing around right now. He has a lot of real estate. Now, if that was in the clip, okay, this is going to be replayed over and over again, and that just made.
It will be replayed again and again and again.
Listen, Doug, it's a great form of protein. It's healthy for you. I don't know, like, what about the stinger? Ooh.
Oh.
I hope he's not allergic. That's great.
No, I am allergic, so I
Me
would
too.
be like, oh.
I would be in trouble if I swallowed a bee. Ouch.
Yeah, but he needs to know, like, it's good protein.
It's good protein, Dougie. He's the one that is okaying the building of that cricket factory in London, Ontario, where they're already producing cricket food for people to eat. So good on you, Doug.
More and more report on bugs is coming up. As you know, I order more bugs because, as you know, Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum and the government think that we should eat bugs because it's a good protein sources. But at Urban News, we did investigate a little bit, and it's actually a vector of parasites and other disease. So if you want, you can sign the petition that I won't eat bugs because I want to deliver that to Justin Trudeau. And in the same time, maybe going with a small box with bugs on it for him, like for his next meal.
You will be arrested, so prepare.
I would not be arrested. I would probably be told to leave the place, but I just want to see his face with the. Oh yeah, I want to see his face when he will see like the bugs in the box, and
I want to hear the crunch.
And I want to have like a big pile of like signature and say, you know what, your bugs and your 8.5 million, I think it spent for Aspire Cricket Farm, you can keep it for you.
Mm-hmm. We have your next meal, Trudeau. And Doug Ford is leading by example. Okay, so this is the video that you were just alluding to.
Yeah.
This is going around on TikTok. Let's just let the woman speak.
Yeah.
And then we'll discuss.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
I know that this is something like you always touch and misunderstood. What do you think about this?
Well, I don't think it's anything new, but I think she put it together really, really well, and like it's like a quick history of the nonsense that's going on. I know that you can still, like, I am of the belief that if you don't want to have children and you want to dye your hair blue and you want to work in the corporate world, like, you're no less of a woman than anyone who wants to raise 6 children and make sandwiches for her husband. That's the point I have, is you should have the choice. And I'm so sick of society shoving it down our throats that one is more important than the other. Like, I do personally think that raising children is a very important role, and that's one that I wish to have in my life, but it's not for everybody. And back in the day, they used to throw that down our throats, where you have to, like, women in the workforce is bad, like, you have to stay at home in the kitchen, like, we all know that. But the pendulum has swung so far in the other direction now, where they're, like, just like she said, like, hookup culture and being on hormonal birth control. It's like everything is like, you're teaching young women, like Teen Vogue and all these articles, like these magazines, they're teaching young women that having, like, ambiguous sex and not striving to have a family and just giving their bodies away and changing their bodies irreversibly is all fine, and pushing that narrative. And it's like, can you just let women be women? Can we just take a beat and let women decide what kind of person that they want to be when they grow up? And the same goes for men. Like, and it's an attack. It is an attack on men. Calling men toxic, like the word toxic masculinity, is in itself toxic, because you're saying a young boy who has the urge to play sports or to do martial arts or to be an astronaut or a construction worker, like, that's toxic because he doesn't want to be an HR rep at a big corporation and give out women's awards. Like, that is so toxic. And I think we should just let people be who they want to be. And the world is so diverse. There's plenty of room for it. That's what I think, in a nutshell. What do you think, Alexa?
But I would say, first of all, like, I never understand, like, people who are like feminism. For me, it's like, if you don't want to shave your legs, don't shave it.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care.
No,
Okay,
I don't care.
I shave it because I just like to feel my legs without air.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really a fan of air. That's it. If the men have it, I would like it. Or
Preference.
If it's too much, I would maybe not. But I would say, like, everybody has different tastes in life. Everybody wants to live their life as they want to do. If you want children, good for you. If you don't want to, good for you as well. Yeah. I decided to don't have it. It's just because first of all, I didn't find the men for me. My life was really complicated because I was traveling all around the world. For myself, I wanted to dedicate myself to other children, the children of the world, helping them, helping other culture, helping through my travel. So I was like, this make me feeling great at the end of the day, because I say, instead of dedicate myself for one, I can help way more. And if one day I want one, I will adopt and I will save children from somewhere else. But my point of view is like, why being angry?
Yeah.
Because what you are jealous of the life of someone else, or you think that it's unfair, it's unfair of that someone else. But if the person live her life like that and she's great with that, why you need to go and overview the life of someone else? Like, live your life, let people alone, and decide for yourself, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel. Like, I would never yell at a woman who chooses not to have children and be like, you're not doing your job. It's like, she is doing her job. Like, how does that how does that affect my life at all? Like, you live, unless you're hurting people and you're some sort of axe murderer, why does that affect my life? Like, you do you. And I'm so sick of, like, this is going to sound super feminist, but, like, I'm sick of society telling women how a woman should look. They can look however they freaking want to look, as long as they're not hurting anyone. They're going to do what they want to do, and you do good through what you want to do, and I'll do good through what I want to do. And I do think we should encourage people to do good. Like, that's something that society should push. Maybe if you want to push an agenda, like, do good. Create beauty in the world, create order, like, help, like you said, like, help children, help people, help impoverished people. If I want to, like, teach my kid, like, if I want to homeschool my kid, like, that's how I will do good in the world. But, like, there are so many different ways, and, like, I am so sick of this pendulum, like, get in the kitchen. 50 years later, it's like, get out of the kitchen. Like, kid, like, let me just live my life. Let me just freaking live my life.
I'm sick that people say, oh, but the man is not manly anymore. No, men, they have manly men. They have like more sensitive men. They have all kind of men that the same time that they have all kind of women. They have strong women and they have like women, like really feminine woman.
Yeah. There are
like,
you drive outside of the city and there's a lot of masculine men all over the friggin' place. It's just you're not seeing them in the corporate banking towers wearing their tight little suits walking downtown, maybe. So you're like, people that live in this insular little world, they're like, oh, there's no masculine men. It's like, that's not true. Sheila Gunn Reid will tell you. Go out to Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
We have a video here of Chrystia Freeland, or it's a tweet. It's a tweet.
It's a tweet, yeah.
It's a tweet. So here's what she said on Twitter. I got my second booster at my local drugstore this evening. Okay, I won't do the voice. If you are 18 and over in Ontario, you too can get your second booster. And thank you to all the pharmacies across Canada who are continuing to keep us healthy and safe. I love that they say second booster, not fourth COVID shot. Because fourth is like, oh, another one, but say it's only your second booster. It's nothing. It's just 2 little boosters on top of your already.
And I made that like just for looking up. You see that she received the booster from an Asian person, but look at my premiere. I think this is all in purpose. Like my premiere received his booster from I think it was a Muslim lady.
Oh yeah.
But as you know, like Mr. Legault with the bill 28, remove all the religious sign and everything. But I think he did that for make himself look great and gain some points for the next election.
That's really ironic coming from Quebec. A woman in a hijab giving the premier a booster shot. Oh, geez.
And especially like he was so against that, and it was like, you should like, if you go to vote, you should remove that. And, me, I'm just like, all religion is welcome. Like, all of them. Like, and especially in our team, we have all religion in our team.
Yes, we do.
And I think, I cannot support it that when you use that for gaining point for the next election. For me, it's like, again, it's such a two-faced person. I'm sorry, but
that's what makes him an awesome politician, Alexa. This is why you would be a terrible politician. Just terrible. You're way too authentic. You would actually say what you want to do and then do it, and it's not going to work out. You can't be acting like that in politics, Alexa. It's just not going to work.
No.
Should we do some more? Some more chats?
Yeah, I think we have a lot.
Okay, so
let's go.
We have another one from Trini Canadian for $2. You want to read this one?
Yes. By doing the previous message, we all can make change and put these company on notice.
Yeah, this was about your banking report.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they are all on it. Like if you go to TCFD, task force for climate change disclosure, and if you check for Canada, because we talk about, I think it's 3,400 company like supporter, but in Canada, like they are mostly all on it. It would be really hard to not find a company, banking company that are not involved there.
Highly disturbing. We have another chat here. This one is from TZ Burton. $20. Woo! Thank you. Alexa, this is for you. Happy birthday, Alexa. And he put a cake emoji in it. I remember that day in Ottawa, and you stood tall and proud. Your coverage is amazing. You are an inspiration to others to stand up for your rights. Love our rebels. That's so nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It should be your birthday every day. This is great.
But in the same time, like when I got shot, yes, I was injured, but I was like, if I'm not covering on the ground what is going on, but I had Lincoln, but it was so widely spread. So I was like, if I don't cover a part of it, we will not have the fully truth at the end of the day. So I had no choice. So I just continued to cover it.
She had no choice, you guys. She can't stop. You'll never stop her.
No.
This is from AMT 60. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. I hope we can fight off this digital dystopia. With this system, if you buy too much meat, you will be cut off, but you can buy crickets. And I cannot read the last
If you
part of
bought
it.
too much gas, will be cut off. I pay cash for gas. That's smart.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Yeah, yeah. I actually should do the same now.
We need to get cash ASAP so that we can.
Oh, yes.
Have
Okay,
cash.
I have it there. I'm
Here's-
so technologic. I just saw the chat
here
in
it
front
is.
of me.
Noble Canadian, $5. It says, "Hello, lovely, endearing ladies, and happy birthday, Alexa. Do you think
Thank you.
Do you think keeping silver and gold, those small bars you can buy, are good ideas for barter in case currency goes away?" I know a lot of people talk about this.
Gold would never lost.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I know, but so my thing is, and I understand that gold will never lose its value, but I'm thinking, okay, so in the situation that we're in, let's assume it's like a dystopian future where the dollar has crashed and we're all like trading milk and eggs and stuff. Like, I think you're better to have a cow than gold, because what's the purpose? Like, what if you're like, oh, I have 5 gold bars? I'm like, cool, but like, I can't eat those. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too far down the line.
I'm sorry, but
Like, I have to schmelt that. Like, well, you milk it. Like, this is my plan. If the world goes to shit, I will be the cheese lady, and I'm gonna have a cow, and I'm gonna make my own cheese, and I'm gonna. Everyone loves cheese. Like, you come to me, you trade your wool. I got the cheese. You trade your
where
ammunition.
you will put your cow in your bed?
I will not be living in the city. I will have a small pasture, of course, and the world will be my oyster. But I just don't know what I would do with gold. Again, maybe I'm not answering your question, Noble Canadian. Maybe I'm thinking way too far down the line. But
I think
I don't have a
gold
schmelter.
The value will not lost because everything is like related with the gold and silver. So
I just So
but in the same time, when you're craving, the gold will be. You will need a lot of gold to buy what you want to buy, because the meat will be so expensive, and it will be just available for people who will have like so much money that your small piece of gold that you have will buy a steak.
Yeah. You're better to have chickens for eggs and like a sheep for wool. This is my plan, anyways.
So Catherine the farmer.
Yes, exactly. The cheese lady, you can call me. Here's another one. World's worst gamer. Actually, that's me, so we'll see about that. Happy birthday, Alexa. Hope you have a wonderful day. Oh,
Thank you.
That's so nice. Yay. And he means it. Here, you can. The next one is long, but it's all in caps.
Yeah, it's Frasbo. Frasbo like his cap.
Yeah.
$5. Do you want to read it?
Okay. I'm wearing my.
Let's go.
Oh, were you going to? Okay, I'll read it. I'm wearing my Castro Trudeau t-shirt to our soapbox rally this afternoon at Centrepoint Plaza at 1 Wilson Street, Hamilton at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There will be speakers there. Come and have fun. Hamilton Freedom Movement. Whoop, whoop.
Oh.
That's amazing. Repping
I'm a little bit
shirt.
too far away.
Alexa's a little too far. Yes. Larmu, $5. You want to read this one?
Yeah. Hi, Lady. Point of order. The Commander-in-Chief of Canada Armed Force is the Governor General, not the Prime Minister.
I do know that. I was being silly because, in America they call like the president the Commander-in-Chief. So that is correct, but I was just being silly. Trudeau.
As usual.
Yes, as usual. It's kind of my thing. But thank you for fact-checking me, because I don't want to be spreading misinformation. Okay. Adam Ottawa, $1. Thank you very much. I recently bought some new treats for my cat, and they were making her vomit. When I looked at the ingredients, there were crickets hidden in the list. People start reading your labels.
Yeah, it's true.
Poor kitty.
Lots of company have started to put like powder cricket in their ingredients. So if you don't really want to eat crickets, because especially I was reading something that if you're allergic to seashell, you can be allergic to all
that makes
these
sense. It's
bugs.
like a crustacean it's crusty and crunchy. Well, that's great advice, and I would absolutely encourage everyone to read the labels of stuff anyways, because you don't know. especially if you have allergies.
Exactly.
So that's great advice. And I'm sorry about your cat, and I hope he's feeling better.
I'm sorry.
This is from AMT, $61. Do you want to?
Thank you.
You want to read it, or the next one is nice and short for you, so I'll read this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Last evening, I heard Roman Baber speak, and he spoke out. He spoke about Trudeau's nitrogen rules and how that will cause some food shortages. He then said, "I'm not eating bugs." A lot of people clapped at that statement. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course. Like, I like that. And when we look at like the leader, like not the leader, but the candidate for being leader of the Conservative Party, only two didn't say anything about the WEF and the bugs. It's Scott Atchison and Jean Charest.
Oh,
and,
shocking.
Yeah, that's the two only one. And but of course, like Patrick Brown, but he's not in the run anymore. And the other
R.I.P.
one is Leslie Lewis, Roman Barber, and Pierre Poilievre talking against the. But Roman Barber, I didn't say it like straightforward about the WEF, but we can see it in how he talked. But they are against the WEF and the bugs, and I appreciate that. I think.
I absolutely appreciate that. Yeah, Leslie Lewis has been really outspoken on this as well.
Oh yeah.
She's pretty cool. Next one, this is for you, Alexa.
So book Senti, $5. Thank you. Happy birthday, Alexa. As far as I know, David's tea has birthday cake tea. Cheers. Thank you.
Are you a tea drinker?
I like the. I have a couple of David's tea here because they are sweet, but I know that they have a lot of calorie on these tea, so I try to don't drink it too much.
What? Calories in tea?
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot. I definitely was like, these are calorie free.
No,
Again,
because they put
read
sugar
the
and
labels.
stuff like that.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. I'm like, read your labels. Yikes. Well, that's embarrassing. I mean, I don't even drink tea. I drink coffee, but yikes. Here's our last one. Lord Dark Soul, $2. I will vote for anyone who wants to excise the WEF from our lives. Happy birthday, Alexa. Woo,
Yay, thank you.
That was very nice. And so many fun birthday messages. Thank you guys so much for sending your love to Alexa today. It's really nice getting love on your birthday, isn't it? Sucks that you have to work.
Like, I want to rectify it a little bit. Like, David's tea is not as calorie, just like some of the tea that have like sugar adding on it. You have the calorie from the sugar.
David's tea is coming for you, Alexa.
No, I don't want to, because I really
blue
love them.
van outside of your house with binoculars.
I know, but I really love them. But it's just true that if you try to go there and buy like a tea with like the milk and the sugar and stuff like that, of course that add more calorie. But if you just drink it black, it's good.
Stuff.
Yeah,
right.
I love it. I love it.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. We're gonna cut it here because it's 1:08. Yes, I have work
It's so
to do.
Sad.
I know.
No, you don't.
I don't. We just sit around here all day doing nothing.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for joining us for the Rebel Daily live stream. Hopefully next week we'll be joined by our beautiful Natasha Biazzi again. Alexa Lavoie from Montreal, and I'm here in Toronto at the studio. And yeah, we've had a great time. Thank you for sending your chats, and we'll be back on Monday at noon with Adam and Sheila, unless the schedule has changed, which I don't think it has. Have a great weekend and keep fighting for freedom in an ideological sense, not in a physical sense, you guys. Keep it peaceful. Yeah. And we're going to close with a video as usual. So bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the birthday wishes.
It's called the Fauci effect, which is sort of like, trust me, I don't get excited about that. I mean, it's nice, but I mean, people go to medical school now. People are interested in science, not because of me, because most people don't know me, who I am. My friends know me, my wife knows me, but people don't know me. It's what I symbolize. And what I symbolize in an era of the normalization of untruths and lies and all the things you're seeing going on in society, from January 6th to everything else that goes on, the craving for consistency, for integrity, for truth, and for people caring about people.